Sewing is power. Sewing gives people power over the rising costs of everyday life. Today, I'm going to discuss how learning to sew early on in life can benefit you in many ways. With the rising costs of basically everything in the world today, sewing gives people the opportunity to sew important items, sew your own clothes, decorate your house, or even become a hero when you're on a date with a boy whose button pops off of his shirt. Now, I know when you picture somebody sitting in front of the sewing machine, it resembles your granny. Think again. Imagine George Clooney or Gwen Stefani. They were both tailors before they became famous. The sky's the limit if you know how to use a sewing machine or even a needle and thread. With the rising costs, sewing gives people the upper hand. Sewing isn't only for the ladies. Sewing can be for men and women, and it creates many opportunities in life. Sewing is indeed power. This brings me to my first point. Sewing can be done individually or in a group. And it's not only for the women anymore. Men all around the world are learning to sew. Hiring a seamstress is not only embarrassing, but it's expensive. We're teenagers. Life is already pretty embarrassing. Say you want to take your pencil skirt to get hemmed at the seamstress. Really, all they're going to do is cut the bottom in a straight line, fold it up, and sew it into place. Come on, these are basic skills that we learned in elementary school. According to thumbtack.com, it costs $3.25 to sew on a button, and it takes the seamstress about 3 minutes. Meanwhile, at Walmart, we can pay $1 for a spool of white polyester, and it'll last us a lot longer. This money can be spent elsewhere, such as Starbucks, the movies, or even on a super cute outfit. Speaking of cuteness, do you guys ever have an idea of something you want in your head, but you can't find it anywhere? If you can sew, you're in luck, because you can just make it yourself. Using your artistic talent can affect your bank account and your style. Clothing isn't the only thing that a seamstress can sew. There are endless possibilities whenever it comes to house decor. This leads us to my second point. Someone who can sew is no longer at a mercy for what can be found at TJ Maxx or other stores. Sometimes we have a picture of a room we want in our head. Say we want a yellow or green pillow to match our couch. We shop, and we just can't find anything that we're looking for. But we end up buying something that we half like and spend a lot of money on it. According to iWorgus.com, Clarissa King states, with so many similar styles on the market and the very real chance of twinning with somebody, sewing some of your own garments can help you stand out. The joy of achieving the ideal garment with the correct fit, fabric type, and colors that we want to wear, you can look exactly how you want to. This goes for house decor too. You can make exactly what you want and make it original. Do you know how easy it is to sew a pillow or a curtain? They're squares and rectangles. Some might buy the best of the worst at the store. Meanwhile, while somebody knows how to sew, they can go to Joann, pick exactly what they want, spend less, while also being proud of their new creation. This goes for clothes too. I was shopping online for a pair of University of Tennessee jeans, and I couldn't find any anywhere. So what'd I do? I went to Joann, I bought my own fabric, and I made my own. When I wore them out, all my friends were asking me to make them a pair. Cha-ching! As if being a hero at home isn't enough, being able to sew might make you look like a real catch on the first date. And this brings us to my third and final point. Being able to sew puts you in the position to be a hero. Imagine you're at a dance or a wedding and your zipper breaks. Someone who doesn't know how to sew might have to go home or sit in the bathroom for the rest of the night. But me, I brought my sewing kit, my travel sewing kit, which has thread and needle in it. I'll be out back on the dance floor in no time with a perfectly fixed zipper. Or you're on a date with a cute boy and his button breaks. He's embarrassed, but you fix it up and everything's fine. How many of you can sew a button? My mom can, but I can't. In a 2017 survey by the British Heart Foundation of 2,000 participants, 23% couldn't sew on a button, and 6 out of 10 didn't have any sewing knowledge at all. Sewing is a skill that can literally save the day. In conclusion, being able to sew as a beginner or even an advanced seamstress can affect all areas of your life. Hiring a seamstress to sew a simple button on is a waste of money. With the rising increase in all prices, I believe that sewing popularity will also increase. Sewing gives men or women the ability to decorate their house however they want it with a cheap overhead cost and also make their original things. Sewing also helps you shine with low overhead costs. Other people can fix cars or pipes. I can fix buttons, sew my own clothes, or even make pillows and curtains. As I close, next time you're looking for a hobby, make it worthwhile. Sewing is a lifelong skill that can help you and the people around you. Sewing allows you to use your imagination and your talent in a multitude of ways. Just a reminder, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy thread, and that's just as close.